Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you a concept that we touch on briefly in some other lessons in this course and in other courses within this program, which is how to create data tables, otherwise known as sensitivity tables within Excel. And to explain why we do this, let's just move to the top here. And we see that we have three different scenarios laid out in our model. One for the base case, for a normal case, and then for a more aggressive case in terms of revenue growth and profitability. So we have those three cases, and those let us look at a lot of different variables and see how our IRR, for example, and some of the rest of the model would actually change depending on what the variables here look like. So that's very useful, but another thing that we want to do is rather than look at a lot of variables over only a few different values, sometimes we want to look at only one or two variables over a much wider range of values. So maybe instead of just 10 to 15% revenue growth, we want to look at 10.5%, 11%, 11.5%, 12%, 12.5%, and so on. So that's another way we can use scenarios in Excel. And so this is actually related to some of the modeling scenarios and to the other functions and formulas and those related functionalities that we looked at before. So let me move to the bottom now and show you how this file has been modified. You might remember that before we used to have a big table here at the bottom. I've taken that out in this version so we can get some practice doing it. So I'm going to walk you through how to create the sensitivity table. And again, we did touch on this in some of the other lessons, but it is good review, and it's good to review some of the formatting details that we went through as well. So the first thing I'm going to do here is start by entering the first category, which is EBITDA exit multiple. And you see here the formatting has already been fixed because I just deleted it from the old file we had. But if we were to do it ourselves, we'd go to Control 1 for format cells, A for alignment. Make sure that the horizontal alignment is set to center across selection. And then, of course, make sure it's bold as well. So Control B and Control B to bold and unbold it. And then over here on the side is where we're going to enter the purchase price. So we're going to be looking at the purchase price versus the EBITDA exit multiple and see how it affects investor returns. So I'll just enter purchase price right here. And we're going to have 11 rows here because we're going to go from 750. And the reason we're starting with 750 is because our purchase price is 1 billion. So we're going to go from 750 million to 1.25 billion. So we'll need 5 below 1 billion and then 5 above it. So that gives us 11 total. So I'm just going to add 50 to this. Copy this down. We're up to 1.25 billion there. Then I'm also going to fix the formatting by pressing Shift and the down arrow key to select all these rows. Then Control 1. Then under alignment, I'll press A to go to alignment. For degrees, I'll press 90. Then Alt-M to merge cells. So now this purchase price formatting is fixed. Now, under EBITDA exit multiple, so we see here that our exit multiple right now is 7.6x because that's what our purchase multiple was. So that's the assumption we're using. So for this one, we're going to go from 5x to 10x in 0.5 increments. Start out with 5x right there. And again, this is using custom formatting. So the way we get to that is Control 1. And then we go to number, Alt-C for category, C for custom. Then for type, we see it's already entered here, but we would just enter 0.0x for the type of the formatting here. So we have that. We'll just add 0.5 to it, equals plus 0.5. And the formatting has stayed the same there, so we'll just copy this across. And we need one more at the end. So it goes from 5x to 10x in 0.5x increments. Now, the last thing we need to do before actually entering this table and running the calculations is to link in the IRR calculation. To do that, we'll just press equals and we'll go up to the IRR calculation right here, E73. And to make sure that it's invisible, that it's hidden, we press Control 1, go to Font, and then make sure the color is just set to white in this case. This is important because when you're printing this out and showing it to your managing director or someone else at your bank, you don't want to have that calculation displayed there. It looks kind of weird, so you want to always hide that. So that's hidden right now. Okay, and now that we have that in place, it's time to actually enter the table and do the calculations, which is ironically the easiest part of this whole exercise. So to do that, we'll press Shift Control down to select the column and then right to select the row and get this whole table area selected. Make sure that the top left part of your table is always the calculation that you're trying to look at over a range of values. Then press Alt-DT to get to the data table. For the row input cell, the row input cell is going to be referring to the EBITDA exit multiples over here. It's a little counterintuitive because you might think that this is the column input cell. It's actually very easy to confuse. I still get it mixed up sometimes, but you can tell very easily when you make the calculation if you've picked the right one. So for the EBITDA exit multiple, that's just going to be the J69 right here. And for the column input cell, I'm going to move up to the top and do the 1 billion purchase price. Have that, and now we have our table. And that's pretty much it. And just to do a quick sanity check of this, we see that as our exit multiple goes up, our return goes up, as we might expect. As our purchase price goes up, our return goes down because we're paying more, so we get less of a return on our investment. So intuitively, it makes sense. You should always do that when you have a table like this. Just sanity check it and look to see whether or not the numbers actually make sense and they're going up or down all in one direction. So that's how you set up a basic sensitivity table. So what I want you to do now is to start with your own LBO model, something similar to what I have right here on the screen. I'm actually going to go in and delete everything that I entered here so I can go through it step by step with you. So I'm going to actually press Alt-ED to delete everything here, to remove the formatting as well. So we have this blank sheet now, and what I want you to do is to go in and actually try to create your own sensitivity table. The top part will be the EBITDA exit multiple right here. And then the left part will be the purchase price all the way up here at the top. Want to be looking at the exit multiple from 5x to 10x and the purchase price from 750 to 1,250,000,000. So pause this video right now, try to do that yourself using the shortcut keys I just went through with you. And then if you get stuck or you want to check your work, just unpause this video and I'll go through it with you this time and give you all the shortcuts as well. Okay, so now to actually make the table ourselves, we'll enter purchase price in cell B77. Then we will enter EBITDA exit multiple right here in cell D75. And our IRR calculation is going to go here, cell C76, right in the corner of this table. We have 11 columns for EBITDA exit multiple. Press Control 1, A for alignment, Alt H for horizontal, C twice for center across selection, and B to bold it. Then for purchase price, we will select 11 cells here. So 1, 2, 3. So we have 11 selected. Press Control 1, A for alignment, Alt H, C to go to center. For vertical, Alt V, and then C to go to center for that. For orientation, Alt D, and then 90 for the degrees. Alt M to merge cells. Press Control B there to bold that. So we have those in place. Now let's enter the actual numbers. So we'll start with 750 for purchase price. We'll add 50, so equals plus 50. And then we'll press Control, and we can actually use the new shortcut we learned and we can just start with cell C78 highlighted and press Shift to go down. Press Control D. Control D will copy the formula down. And fix the formatting, we just go to Control 1, number, Alt C for category, A for accounting, set the decimal places, Alt D to 1, and then we press Control B to bold it. For the EBITDA exit multiple, we're going to go from 5x to 10x, so we enter 5.0 right there. Say equals plus 0.5. Then say equals plus 0.5. Copy this all the way to the right, 11 spots. Shift Control right arrow key, Control B to bold it. Control 1, Then for number, we want to create a custom category. So Alt-C to go to category, C twice to get to custom, Alt-T, then we type 0.0x. And again, this is reviewing some of the custom formatting work that we did before. Press enter. We have all those EBITDA exit multiples. Now for the IRR calculation, we're just going to link cell C76 to that. So equals, going right there, Control 1, and then font. Then for color, we're just going to press Alt-C to get to color, and we can select white here with the mouse to hide this, and press enter OK right there. So we have everything in place now. That's the hard part of the sensitivity table. The easy part is actually creating it. So Shift Control down arrow key, and then keep holding Shift and Control down and press the right arrow key. Then Alt DT for table. Row input cell is going to refer to our EBITDA exit multiple right here. It's a little counterintuitive, so keep in mind that the row input cell actually refers to your column input here. So we will go up to the end of year 5 with the EBITDA exit multiple here, select J69. Then for the column input cell, we're going to use the arrow to get onto the page, and we can go all the way up to the top with Control up arrow, select 1 billion for the purchase price, and now we have our table. We have to fix the formatting because these are not in percentage format right now. I am not going to use the Shift Control shortcuts here because I want precision over the decimal places. So we'll press Control 1, N for number, Alt-C for category, P for percentage, and change the decimal places to 1 instead of 2. And again, there, you could use the Shift Control shortcuts that we learned as well, but you don't get as much control with the formatting and the decimal places with those. So normally, if I'm trying to be precise, I'll use Control 1 to actually change the formatting there. And looking at this, we can see that our table is correct because we're going from 5x to 10x EBITDA exit multiples, and our return is increasing as a result. And then as our purchase price increases, our return decreases. So this is correct. So that's how you set up a data table. And that's pretty much it in terms of the basic formulas and built-in functions within Excel and some of the related features like iterations, circularity, modeling scenarios, and sensitivity or data tables like this. Coming up next, we're going to move into lookup functions. We're going to go back to our data set. So we're going to move away from the LBO model for now and move back to our data set. We're going to look at different ways you can make that table a little bit easier to use and a little bit better organized using lookup functions. And then we're going to go into pivot tables, which is another very useful feature for actually looking at data and analyzing it, and then go into macros and creating your own custom keyboard shortcuts.